the sickest man in America. He's got to be the sickest man in America. Bless his heart. For those of you that don't know those words, and I'm going old school here, you got to go all the way back to Super Bowl 13 and the wide open drop of tight end Jackie Smith. This is deemed the sickest man in America. And it's not only for the drop, because I'd like to give you, ladies and gentlemen, the backstory on why Jackie Smith was deemed the sickest man in America. And let me go back to Super Bowl 12. The Cowboys defeat the Broncos and become champions of the NFL. And now they find themselves back in the Super Bowl going against the Pittsburgh Steelers, and Dallas is on the start of becoming America's team for all their Super Bowl appearances in the 70s. So, Super Bowl 13, it's the third quarter with maybe 2 minutes and 40-something seconds left, in the quarter. And the Steelers are up 21-14. So, mind you, it's not a significant. It's not like he dropped a touchdown pass and lost the game. It's not like a missed field goal, a la Scott Norwood. It's not like a bad call, Pete Carroll. No, it's the third quarter. It's 21-14, and the Steelers are up. They could have tied the game, but had to settle for a field goal. So they still had time to win the game. Now, mind you, the score ended up being 35-31. And, as you can see in the images above, how do you drop that pass? And so that's pretty much the backstory. So here we have it. Jackie Smith, okay? More career catches and more receiving yards than anybody on the field to that point. Okay, the guy had 500 passes up until this point, 8,000 yards, and that was more than any tight end ever at that time. I mean, he did things Mike Ditka, I think, was one before him. And tight ends in that era, they were basically blocking. So it wasn't like this guy was a scrub. See, up until that point, he played for the back then St. Louis Cardinals. And with those stats, 500 passes and 8,000 yards, I'm not sure about the touchdowns. I didn't dig too much into the stats. But hey, with the Cardinals, he was on his way to the Hall of Fame. This guy retired. So he's a sure-handed receiver, 38 years old, came back, and why not come to a winning franchise? They're coming off a Super Bowl win, the Cowboys. Now they're coming back-to-back Super Bowls. Why not come back and end your career with the Dallas Cowboy, quote-unquote America's team? Get yourself a ring. Everything's set. You're on your way to the Hall of Fame. I mean, he was 38 years old and came back just to seal his legacy with a ring with the Cowboys. After a 15-year career with the Cardinals, Hall of Fame, best tight end ever up until that point. And you come back and become the sickest man in America. That is why he's deemed the sickest man in America. Because of all his accomplishments, he wanted to just chase a ring and get a free. I get it. Nothing wrong with it. It made perfect sense. Don't know what he did with the Cowboys during his career there. I don't even know if he played a whole season. I don't know if they acquired him at the end of the season. I don't know if I didn't dig too much into this. I just know that this guy was no scrub. Now, when I saw this, I was coming off of watching my first Super Bowl, the Denver Broncos, and against the Dallas Cowboys. So they were my favorite team. So when he dropped the pass, I thought the game was over. I don't even think I watched the rest of the Super Bowl. I thought he dropped the ball and the game was over. Years later, I find out this guy wasn't even a Dallas Cowboy. But he's deemed the sickest man of America in America because of that drop and because of his accomplishments and because he thought he was going to cruise his way to a ring. So it didn't really have to do with the game at all. Although it was a game changer because he dropped the pass. But the Cowboys still had other opportunities. But the Steelers were just too much for him. But that, my friends, is why, as you can see, how do you drop this pass? Jackie Smith is deemed the sickest man in America. Bless his heart. This is the Waters Rant.